Hello there, Gemini. It's time for a monthly reading for June. Happy birthday to you. That's why I'm getting started with you. First reading in this beautiful place. How blessed am I today to be able to be at this beautiful creek. It's called Chestnut Creek. I'm going to start with looking at what to embrace and what to leave behind for the month ahead. What to take with you and what to leave behind. Then I'm going to look at your messages for your soul purpose, messages for your attunement, alignment with your abundance and prosperity, and messages for your love prospects for the month ahead, for those of you who are curious. Now, if some random muddy dog comes running by, please be patient with me while I freak out and melt down because I got run over by a muddy dog. The sacrifices we make for our art, what to embrace, the high priestess, what to leave behind, the devil. Interesting. I feel like there's I feel like we're on the cusp. The shadow of Mercury retrograde here at the end of May is putting you in some kind of obsessive thinking because of some kind of conflict. But it is something that's recurring over and over again. So we're leaving that behind. We're leaving behind the obsessive thinking, and instead we're getting in tune with our spirituality, with our intuition, with our spiritual selves, our higher spiritual selves. The high priestess, this is really interesting because you see the two pillars here, and she is the number 2, and your symbol is the twins. So I love that this came up. A lot of the time, Gemini are like this. Their voice, they're like thinking, because they're like Mercury ruled. They're thinking, and they're using their voice all the time. And sometimes they're like talking before they have a chance to really fully intuit what's the big picture of what's going on. This I think with Mercury going retrograde for 3 weeks out of the month of June, that's gonna shut that. You're gonna be so mixed up. Mercury is in retrograde during your season, so it's like your circuits are fried. And there's a positive thing. I love this feeling of loss of mental control. My logic is confused because instead I get to tune into my intuition. Instead I get to get in touch with something much deeper and beyond just me and what I can control myself with my own thoughts. This is the obsessive controlling aspect that you're leaving behind. This is the universal, I was eating pistachios. This is the universal knowledge. This is the spirit speaking through you in the month ahead. You're going to let it in, you're going to love it, and it's going to really work in your favor. It's going to do some really positive things for you. So let's go ahead and get going on looking at your soul purpose messages. Soul purpose messages. What does Gemini need to know regarding their purpose for being here? What is it? What their job was when they came here? What do they need to know about that? It doesn't have to be some big profound thing. It is your life as it is right now. That is your soul purpose. We got judgment. What goes around comes around. So you're, as far as this whole big picture thing, that spiritual big picture thing that you're embracing this month, you're seeing how all of your actions and how all the behaviors and responses of the people that are deeply, intimately entwined in your life, you're seeing how it all plays out in the big picture. You're seeing how the choices that people have made has the effects of how it has affected their life right now. I'm not communicating clearly. You're seeing how it's all playing out in their life right now, and you're seeing it for yourself as well. Some of these things are really, really awesome because in some cases for other people and for yourself, they've been doing really good. You've all been doing really good things for yourselves, and in some ways you're like, ooh, it's going to take a little bit of work. It's going to take a little bit of time, but I can do better, right? So let's get a little bit of clarification on that point. For Gemini, we're going to clarify the judgment for soul purpose. Excellent card to have placed in the judgment being placed in soul purpose. I think is excellent. And you know what came up for me when I said that was that this angel being here, you are being watched over. This is like, even though other people's soul purposes are pulling on yours, other people's trials and lessons are pulling on your life, it's pulling on your energy, it's pulling on your soul purpose, your path through life, you're being watched out for by guardian spirits, ancestors, whatever it is that you identify with, your higher self is watching out for you and guiding you in the direction that you need to go. You are being protected. You are being sheltered. This is really cool. I'm really happy for you. They're like, no, you got something else to do. You need to be protected from these things, especially this guy. You need to be protected from that. And I have to put this out there right now. Look at me in this beautiful angelic place right here. I don't believe in Satan. I believe that all of us are Satan's and angels, demons and angels within ourselves. And it just depends on whether or not we're caught up with our ego. So you can be in hell right here in this lifetime. It just depends on the mental state that you're in, okay? So I have to say that. So when I'm talking about demons, I'm talking about egoic patterns that people are holding on to that are very unhealthy, spiritually, emotionally, physically, okay? Thank you for that clarification. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We got the Hanged Man being in a holding pattern. Might have to just be patient. I feel like because this Five of Wands was in the reverse, you are avoiding conflict this month because you're not able to communicate the way that you would like to. You're kind of, I feel like you're really being on the down low this month. Playing it safe, playing it cool. And then we had the Ace of Swords. But when you do need to say something, you are going to say it, right? Okay. When something needs to be said, you are going to say it. I love that. Let's see how this plays out in the rest of the reading. I'm really concerned about the dust that's on my lens right here. Sorry. Somebody's going to scream at me for not using the right kind of cleaner. I'm a Virgo, I can't help it. Little drink of my coffee. I'm not advertising for this place. I just like the mug. Let's look at your abundance and prosperity for the month ahead, Gemini. Abundance and prosperity for Gemini in their birthday month. Happy birthday! We got one little pile that came out, and I do like this. You're focusing so much more on number one, and this is really good because you're not able, things are really muddled, I feel, in your ability to communicate with others. So you have to pull back into you, and you're like, you know what, I'm going to play it safe and just do me for a little while. There's a time for socializing, and there's a time for just working on your own progression. And so that's really, really good. And like I said, even though I don't feel a sense of loneliness, you see, she's pretty content because she's got her animal spirit friends. I've got little birds here with me. I'm not alone, right? And I got you. I'm talking to you. So she's not really alone, even though she's avoiding trouble and conflict with her intimate connections. And so instead, she's working on her own abundance and prosperity, and it's going to bring in. This is a very abundant card. This is a very positive omen for you for your month ahead, because you're, instead of being like, I'm going to go play over here, I'm going to go play over there, I'm going to go get in this person's business, I'm going to go get in that person's business. You're sticking to yourself and your little critter friends, and you're sleeping well, and you're taking really good care of yourself. These two ladies together, they are a power couple. You see, they're twins, right? Just like you. So they're a power couple, the spirit and the material, and together they're in a really, really positive place. So what I can see for you is just resting really well, taking really good care of your body, showing up to your work on a regular basis, and like taking leaps and bounds. If you're self-employed, you're like really jumping ahead with the kinds of creative projects you're able to do. In spite of Mercury retrograde, you're still able to be like, you're pulling something from deep inside of you, your spiritual connection. You're able to really get far ahead if you're self-employed and working on your own projects, or if you're working for someone else in the creative sphere. But if it's just you working for other people, you're loving it, you're showing up on a regular basis, you're keeping your head down, you're doing your own job, you're staying out of drama, you're like waiting for nobody to be at the water cooler before you go up and get a drink. You get your drink real quick and you go right back to work. And you're getting a lot accomplished, and that is really, really good for your economy. By the end of June, you're really going to see the money building up, and the positive benefits of not partying so much, because you're not hanging out all over the place. The physical benefits are really going to be awesome, because your head's going to be, when you get out of Mercury retrograde, your head's going to be totally clear, and you're going to feel really good. Instead of being like, what the hell happened to me? You're going to be like, oh, it's cool. All right. Any clarification on that Nine of Pentacles? I feel like a lot of stuff that already needed to come out did. Yeah, so one more thing to add to that is the Nine of Wands. Two of Wands. And I like that with the two of the High Priestess numerologically. It's like bouncing down. It's trying to say there's going to be by the end of the month, there are going to be a couple of exciting projects that you're going to be like, which one should I do? This is the standard line. You've seen it before with Gemini. The standard line is, I'm so excited about this thing, I want to just dive right into it. And then I'm so excited about this thing, I want to just dive right into it. And then when you have like two things you're excited about, then you're paralyzed and you can't get anything done. So I think what it's trying to say is, when the end of the month comes along and there's like a couple of things that are kind of exciting that you want to be working on, you really need to just stick to one. Pick one. All right. Just a little side note. Okay. Ooh, my feet are starting to get numb. I'm sitting on the ground on my feet. Let's get a look at your love prospects, Gemini, for the month ahead, the month of June. There's all kinds of relationships y'all could be in. Committed relationships, not in a committed relationship, and just have really close, intimate friends that you care so much about. You got your family. I'm talking about all the love, right? Even the self-love. This. First of all, how we love ourselves is reflected by how other people treat us. Okay? So, like, first of all, we're talking in the most general sense, we're talking about self-love. So when I'm like, ooh, that person shouldn't have done that to you, it's like, how? Sometimes people do shitty things to each other, then you learn and you move on, okay? Because you're like, how does that reflect on me? Oh, crap. Yeah, I attracted somebody that did something shitty to me. I need to pivot and make better choices from now on about who I associate. Don't flagellate yourself. You didn't deserve it. But it is time to pivot into people that treat you in a more honorable, respectful way. That just needed to come out. I don't know. I just talk. Messages, please, for Gemini for the month of June. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna go there. You know what, this card immediately, you know where I immediately go, because it's all about the passion, it's all about the fire, it's all about, the solar plexus. It's like, I'm gonna go and grab that dick, right? If you're feminine, if you identify as feminine, this is somebody coming in toward you with their masculine energy, coming in an exciting way. I don't care what gender the person associates with. It's their passion coming toward you. This is the masculine energy. It's coming toward you, all right? So if you are feminine, I'm sorry, the other way around. If you're masculine, then you are going toward someone else, right? Just like, I'm so excited about this. And I feel like some of you, even if you identify as feminine, you're really excited about someone. Even if you may not be like running toward them, you're like, I'm thinking about this person a lot. And I can see why you would be hesitant to just jump into something new at this moment. I feel like these things are intertwined, like the sexuality, the physical part. I feel like they're intertwined. It's like, ooh, should I or shouldn't I? Should I or shouldn't I? Okay? There's some of you that are in committed relationships, and this may not pertain to you in particular. It could be that there's a little bit of a spark coming up if you are in a committed relationship. There's like a rekindling, a spark. And if it hasn't been going on for a while, you're being asked to consider what can you do to light a fire, because we're looking at the symbolism of the wands is the fire energy, right? Let's get some clarification on that stick. A man holding the stick, the glowing stick. Let's see, what's up with that? Clarification for Gemini. Ooh. Queen of Pentacles. This person could be a Virgo energy, also mercurial kind of energy, but much more earthly. It's also representative of you. I think, look at this. These two ladies together, they're both Virgo. They're both very materially minded. They're both keeping to themselves. They're both being very conservative with their energy. So I can see you, even though you're kind of excited about something, you are also being very conservative about how you use your energy. And I think that is a wise choice, because your intuition is like, this could be trouble, all right? Oh, I see it. Yep. Somebody's lit. Somebody's lit up and excited about you. You're a little bit like, woo, about them. And it's like, sorry, I'm kicking the tripod there. And it's like, should I or shouldn't I? The spirit is like, not quite yet. Not quite yet. You know, if you end up, somehow, being alone together, if you end up somehow being alone together and like everything's just perfect, then, follow through on it, go ahead. But I think mostly you need to be working on you right now. It's not a good time for you to be tangling yourself up with somebody else's karma. Remember that? We're not tangling ourselves up with other people's karma. And tangling your body with someone else's tangles you with their karma. So watch out for that. But like I said, let me just pull a card. For those of you who are in committed relationships, let's clarify the situation for those of you who are in a committed connection. What are the messages for Gemini in a committed connection? What do they need to know? Wow. Well, we got the Tower in reverse, and what I feel like that correlates with, whenever I see the Tower, okay, stick that up there. Whenever I see the Tower, I'm reminded that when you know that you need to do something and you put it off and you put it off because you're like, I don't know how, it can end in disaster. So if you know that there's something that needs to be done in your relationship, whether that be some kind of counseling, whether that be some kind of extra effort on your part, either in communicating your needs or in finding out how to demonstrate to your partner how much you care in a small, subtle way, how to be more supportive of your partner in some way. If you don't do it, it could be not good for you. And so I feel like that's where this spark is coming in. It's like, I'm going to do something. All right, going forward, I'm going to do something. Even if you identify as feminine, in the case of those of you who are in committed relationships. Okay? All right then. So those are your messages for the month of June. I love you, Gemini. Make sure if this is your first time checking me out, make sure and subscribe, because I post stuff for you all the time. And check out my Instagram if you want to hear from me in a more candid, much shorter, soundbitey kind of way. So I love you, and I'll see you later.